Well, good morning. What an amazing match in the Premier League. It's one of those matches you can make a serious amount of wedge. This is the opportunity you look for. A 0-3 lead for Luton at half-time. Now, I don't have the odds for 0-3 at half-time for Luton. I would suspect it would be something between 1.03 to 1.06 or even up to 1.09. And imagine Bournemouth's odds would be double figures quite easily. 19s or 20s or even higher. This is what you wait for. What a recovery from Bournemouth. What a kick in the knackers for Luton Town. Oh, heartbreaker. All done and dusted. This is your first out, 64th minute. So you wouldn't have had long to wait. But those of you who would have held out for the late winner would have been amply rewarded. That's what you wait for. Champions League, as ever, very tough to unpack. Good result for Atletico Madrid, given this Inter Milan side are pretty hot, but it took extra time. Dortmund, good result for them against PSV Eindhoven. And again, I think these Dutch sides, like the Scottish sides, they are suffering from being in leagues which are far too uncompetitive for them to really land a blow in Europe. So the Bournemouth-Luton match, absolutely outstanding. This is when you make some serious wedge. Peterborough continuing their excellent run. They're looking for automatic promotion. They're doing the right thing. Did Stevenage score first, or was it a simple evening for Peterborough? Well, it was the latter. Simple for Peterborough. It was a consolation goal in the end there. On to today, and what I've done for you in the research for the Europa League and Europa Conference League is just to put what Soccerway and Soccer24 have said and just put it into these kind of stats. So the important thing to look for is the first leg result, 2-2 Rangers and Benfica. As I was just alluding to, I think Rangers are out of their depth. There's a lack of competition in the SPL. You've only got Celtic, and that's about it. That's not enough to prepare you for European action. Benfica have the likes of Angel Di Maria in their ranks and a few other players that big Premier League sides have their eye on. I think Benfica should be too much for this Rangers side, but I would welcome a Rangers surprise, of course. Slavia Prague and AC Milan. 4-2 deficit in the first leg. AC Milan look far too accomplished for me. The reason they're 2.20 the favourite is because they don't need to win, AC Milan. They just need to make sure that Slavia Prague don't score the next 2 goals. Villarreal and Marseille are 4-0 deficit against Marseille in the first round. Villarreal have it all to do, and that's the reason why Villarreal are favourites, because Marseille can eat up a 3-0 defeat and still progress. It's not a must-win for Marseille. It's a must-not-lose 3-0 or higher. West Ham and Freiburg overcome a 1-0 deficit against Freiburg, so it is doable for West Ham. Bowen will be a key factor. He's their key scorer. And I hope you have a look at the research. If there's any stats which catch your eye, you might want to implement this evening. Atalanta and Sporting Lisbon, 1-1 draw from the first leg, all to play for. And I wonder if the Portuguese Primeira Liga is strong enough to cope with a Serie A side at home. Not too sure. Again, lacking in real competition, the Primeira Liga, apart from Sporting, Porto, Benfica and Braga. That's about it, really. Bayer Leverkusen Karabag, a nice trade for Bayer Leverkusen, coming from 2-0 down in the first leg for a 2-2. As ever, they're extremely short-priced favourites at home. But Karabag might offer some resistance. They have surprised, particularly against Braga, but they simply outscored them. So for me, the value is in laying Bayer Leverkusen at 1.15 right at the off. You're unlikely to get anything out of it. You know how much they score. But Karabag have surprised. They surprised in the first leg and they surprised against Braga. Brighton against Roma. Oh dear. 4-0 defeat in the first leg to Daniela De Rossi's side. And again, this is why Brighton are favourite, because Roma only need avoid a 4-0 defeat to go through. So nice and simple there. Liverpool and Sparta Prague. 5-1 lead from the first leg. So I think Liverpool might be resting a few stars this evening. Give some peripheral players a match. Or old Sparkly Teeth will just make sure that he knocks the stuffing out of Sparta by scoring 2 goals or more this evening, which is in line with a 1.28 quote. But don't forget, this is not a must-win for Liverpool. It's a must not lose 4-0 or higher. Fenerbahce, Union Singilwa, 3-0 lead in the first leg. Fenerbahce lead 3-0 against the Belgian side. Remember, that's away from home. So obviously they are favoured this evening. But again, they're not rock-hard favourites, quite simply because it's not a must-win for Fenerbahce. This is the thing with second legs. You don't have to win. You just have to avoid a scoreline which brings you to extra time. Fiorentina and Maccabi Haifa. Wow. 4-3 comeback to win the first leg for Fiorentina. So we might see some fireworks this evening. And Maccabi Haifa scoring 3 goals against them and indeed taking a lead. So I would be favouring Fiorentina here. Again, the Israeli Liga Ha'al may be lacking in enough competitive teams of enough quality to make sure that they compete on the European stage. PAOK Thessaloniki welcome Dinamo Zagreb from Croatia. Let's have a look at the first leg. I'm not sure. Overcome a deficit. Uphill battle. 2-goal deficit against DZ. So Dinamo Zagreb, 10-man defence this evening. Or try to nick a goal just to knock the stuffing out of PAOK, who are vying for the title in the Greek Super League. So they'll have a degree of confidence to them that they could do something this evening. And again, the Croatian league is lacking in that competitive spark, isn't it? Poulsen from the Czech Republic against Servette got a good result at the weekend, coming from behind. I'm sorry with this. I'm not going to correct these. This comes from the AI software, so I'm sure you know which team I'm referring to with that question mark. Victoria Poulsen, of course. Goalless draw, so this is wide open. Wide open. Ajax against Aston Villa. We know Ajax have been wobbly pre and post Europa Conference League. This is yet another example of, like PSV yesterday, a Dutch Eredivisie side likely to be lacking sorely on the European stage, particularly with the poor season they've had relative to what you'd expect of an Ajax side. 4-0 defeat against Tottenham for Aston Villa coming into this match. Goalless draw in the first leg for Ajax and Aston Villa. If Aston Villa can find anything like their Premier League form, goal-scoring wise, they'll simply outscore Ajax. You know what, Noel Edmonds' friend, Mr. Brobby, you want to see him on. He tends to be the key attacking threat for Ajax. Club Brugge against Molde. 2-1 defeat in the first leg for Club Brugge. It's doable. Molde's season in Norway is yet to start. Club Brugge's been on the go since August. Could find home advantage to the liking. Must score the next goal, Club Brugge. Lille against Sturm Graz. Again, the Austrian Bundesliga should not really be competing with the French League. And indeed, they've got a 3-0 lead from the first leg. Lille, quite simply, far too good, I think, for the Austrians. Maccabi Tel Aviv against Olympiacos. This is a very tough one to unpack. But 4-1 win in the first leg for Maccabi Tel Aviv. Oli are in with a title push in the Greek Super League. They've been scoring, but they must score the first 3 goals this evening. And English League 2, Salford against Stockport. 0-0 in the last head-to-head. Salford, interestingly, have beaten 2nd, 4th and 6th at home. This is 20th in the league against 3rd. So I wouldn't be discounting Salford this evening. This is another one of those matches also where a team like Salford, desperate need of points, might pull out a shock result. Indeed, they've got that form, as I allude to, 4 wins against the top 6 at home. They did lose to first and fifth, and they're playing third today. So it's not a gimme by any stretch for Stockport this evening. Hope to be up and about for you this evening. Yes, I like playing second legs in Europe because we've got the first leg goal score to work off, and we've got the pre-match odds as well. So I'll see you from 5:45 onwards this evening. Please remember, Footballtradingprofits.club is down now. No longer with us. It has ceased to be. It is no longer. It is a dead website. I think the free version is still there. So what I hope to do, if I've still got the spreadsheets, etc., I'll be downgraded to the free plan today. So I'll get some of the spreadsheets and that, stick them on there, footballtradingprofits.club.com. So get to know this website, footballtradingprofits.com. Okay. That's it for me. I sincerely hope that you laid the bleep out of Luton and backed, who was it? I've forgotten already. Bournemouth. I've got the brain capacity of Joe Biden at the moment. Backed Bournemouth at half-time and laid Luton at half-time. This is the match we wait for. You can make huge sums on these matches. So I sincerely hope you did. I really do. I hope you filled your boots yesterday. At any rate, you would have got a 25 to 1, 30 to 1 return about Bournemouth, and laying Luton at probably 1.05, 1.06 for every £5 you risk, you're going to win 100 plus. So brilliant, brilliant stuff. Have a great day. I'll see you a bit later at 5:45.